Chiefs Kingdom. Welcome into the Chiefs Report by Chat Sports. My name is Jackson Durham, and today we've got some big rumors to discuss. Tyrann Mathieu is reportedly open to returning to Kansas City. Should the Chiefs go out and get him? We're going to break it down on today's show, and we've also got some more to discuss for you guys. This is a big move. Do you guys think we should make it? Let me know in the comments. I want to hear from you guys before we get into this one. As the intro rolls, get down there and get those comments in. Type Y if you're on board with signing Mathieu. Type N if you are not. And let's get into this thing. So, like I said off the top, the big news around the Chiefs Kingdom is Tyrann Mathieu potentially returning to Kansas City. If you missed it over the weekend, he sat down with Kay Adams on Up and Adams at the Kansas City Chiefs Stadium at Arrowhead Stadium. She was doing a big event out there. And the comments that he made heavily suggested he would be interested in playing. We're going to get into all of it in just a minute. So yeah, if you missed it, here is the photo of them together on Up and Adams. And I watched the whole show, and the comment was pretty interesting. So obviously Tyrann Mathieu, if you're not up to date on his career, spent the last few years in New Orleans before retiring in July of this year. And in this appearance, Kay Adams directly asked him, she just straight up asked, are you going downstairs to talk to Brett Veach about re-signing in Kansas City after this? And this is what Tyrann had to say. He said, I'm not going to say no. I won't say no. And this response is a little bit weird. She kind of interrupted him, which is why it's structured weird at the beginning. Yeah, probably. And I've stayed in contact with obviously Brett and mostly Coach Reid. His grandson actually plays on a football team with my son, so it's all in the family, you know. So very clearly, Tyrann is stating he is open to a return to Kansas City. He says directly he would not say no if Brett Veach asked, but he also didn't answer 100% yes that he was storming into Brett Veach's office to get this thing done. But obviously, as soon as you have a legend like that from Kansas City, such a great player during his time in here, say something like that he's interested in returning, the rumor mill is on fire. And it makes some sense given the Chiefs' safety depth chart right now. If you missed this news, obviously coming out of Week 13, Bryan Cook left on the first drive of that game. And he, while avoiding a high ankle sprain, we don't exactly know what his status is at this point. We haven't received any further updates on whether or not he's going to be available in Week 14. The speculation is that this isn't a long-term issue for Bryan Cook, but I don't think it's hard to admit that even if Cook is 100% healthy, this is a position that's had depth issues. Jaden Hicks has not been the guy that we were 100% hoping he could be behind Cook. Shamari Connors had issues rotating between safety and slot corner. And while, again, I do think Bryan Cook's going to be back in due time, if he was to miss any amount of time, could Tyrann Mathieu make sense as a replacement? Despite him aging, he was productive over the last couple of years of his career. Obviously called it quits, in July of this year, right before the start of the season. But last year in 2017, 3 interceptions, 7 pass breakups with the New Orleans Saints. In 2023, he had 4 interceptions. This guy forced 9 turnovers between 2023 and 2024 alone. He's always been a ball hawk. He's always been an incredibly productive player on the back end of a defense. So it absolutely makes sense that he would come up in these discussions if he says he's interested and with the issues that we've had. We're going to get into my stance on this in just a second, whether or not I think the Kansas City Chiefs should bring back Tyrann Mathieu, if that would be a great addition for Kansas City to make. But I've got a big addition to your guys' holiday hosting rotation, and that is Omaha Steaks. You guys have heard me talk about Omaha Steaks a lot, and I'm going to keep talking about it because they are fantastic. It's the best in the entire meat industry. You guys have heard me say it, but they provide fantastic steaks, fantastic burgers, fantastic jumbo-style franks, and I love to cook them up, whether it's for my fiance, whether it's for the family when they come in town to visit, which they're doing again for Christmas. Got to make sure that the dinners are on point when the parents come in town, and Omaha Steaks 100% helps me do that. They offer unrivaled quality and variety, and every bite is backed by their 100% guarantee. Right now is the perfect time to save on delicious gifts and holiday hosting favorites. Every steak is perfectly aged to maximize tenderness and hand-cut by master butchers in America's heartland. And guys, I've got an exclusive deal just for our Chiefs Report viewers. The Kingdom is going to get an extra $35 off with promo code Chiefs at checkout. So save big on unforgettable gifts with Omaha Steaks this holiday season. Visit Omaha Steaks for 50% off site-wide and an extra 20% off select favorites during their Sizzle All the Way sale. And for an extra $35 off, use promo code Chiefs at checkout. That's omahasteaks.com, promo code Chiefs at checkout. Terms to apply. See site for details. The link is in the description and in the pinned comment to check out Omaha Steaks. And if you do, go make sure you use promo code Chiefs. Really supports the channel. So, like I said, going to give you guys my stance on signing Tyrann. I don't think it makes a lot of sense at this point in the year. And this isn't to say that Tyrann's not a great player. He is. But there's 3 reasons, separate from how good of a player he is, that I don't think we really need to go out and get him. Number 1, while I acknowledge the depth issues at safety, I really don't consider safety to be a primary position of need on this roster. I think at this point in the season, when you look at what Kansas City really has struggled with, the pass defense is absolutely an element of that. And you may be listening to me going, what are you talking about, Jackson? The passing defense this season has been horrible. And statistically, you're right? Like 12th in the league in yards allowed per game, 31st in completion percentage allowed. That stat makes me want to throw up. 21st in yards per attempt and 18th in passer rating allowed. All of that would indicate to you that there is problems on the back end of this defense, but I think it's more complicated than that. And I've reiterated this all year to you guys, but I'll do it again. The reason why Kansas City struggles against quarterbacks, the reason why those stats look the way they do, has very little to do with the secondary at the end of the day. And it's not that the secondary has been fantastic, but it doesn't matter who you have covering if you cannot pressure the quarterback. If you cannot get anywhere near opposing quarterbacks, which consistently this season we have been absolutely unable to do, it is not going to matter if you have Tyrann Mathieu, if you have Brian Cook, if you have Ed Reid back there. It's not going to matter. You're going to get torched at the end of the day if you cannot ever get near these quarterbacks. If you can't do it in a timely manner, if you cannot apply quick pressure, and our defensive line has failed to do that all season long, leaving our secondary in a position to consistently fail. But I want to hear from you. What do you guys think is Kansas City's weakest position group right now? And this doesn't have to just be on defense. I know we've focused mainly on the defense today, but if you want to go on the offensive end, you can absolutely do that. Just let me know in the comments, what do you think the weakest position group across the roster is? I would absolutely go edge. I really do think it is the edge room at this point in the season. When you watch the Kansas City Chiefs all year long, I just beat them up, so I'm not going to do it too much more, but that edge room has consistently failed to get pressure, and it's been a big issue all year long. It's been why we've struggled against the pass. But another reason why I'm averse to bringing in Tyrann Mathieu, we have no clue what kind of shape Tyrann is in at this point. And look, he retired in July. July, what, 5 months ago? 5 months ago. It was 5 months ago, guys. It's been a while since this guy has been in an NFL practice regimen, in an NFL workout regimen, working on the game. I'm sure he's staying in shape. I'm sure he's hitting the gym. I'm sure he's still in fantastic shape overall, but I don't know if he's ready to go play an NFL game tomorrow or this week. And that kind of leads into the last problem with this is if he isn't, then what's really the point? We have 5 games left in the regular season to try to make a playoff push. And if he can't come in and be a day one impact maker, which, let's be honest with ourselves, he's been sitting on the sides for 5 months, he's been hanging out on the couch doing TV appearances, which absolutely that's what you should be doing in your retirement. I'm not criticizing him for that. But I don't think there's going to be enough time left in the season for Tyrann to come in, Tyrann to get back into 100% NFL ready shape, and then to actually be the kind of impact maker a lot of people are thinking he's going to be on the back end of this defense. I mean, by that time, Brian Cook's going to be 100% healthy. And do you really go with a guy who just showed up over the proven starter, someone who's played almost 50 games as a starting safety on this team? Is that really what's going to happen? I don't think so at the end of the day. I think if this team is going to make a playoff push, it has to be with the guys who are already in the locker room. It's not going to be from bringing somebody else in at this point in the year. We had opportunities to do that, but that was back at the trade deadline, and we said no. We said we're going to stick with the guys in here. So now you got to live with that decision at this point. Bringing in Tyrann Mathieu is not going to save the season, and if it isn't going to save the season, I don't see a point in doing it. But I want to hear from you. You be the GM right now. Would you make this move? I asked you once at the beginning, but now I've given you my reasons why I'm opposed to it. Maybe I've changed your mind. You can go down there and change your comment or just add another one. Would you sign Tyrann Mathieu? Type Y for yes, type N for no. And then make sure you hit that subscribe button, guys, because we have got a huge preview coming out for what I have described as, with that loss to Dallas, now the biggest game of the season for us. Playoff hopes could go out the window or remain alive this Sunday night, and you are not going to want to miss our dual preview with Texans Today host Jeremy Chuggs. Going to be a lot of fun. That's coming on Thursday, so make sure you hit that subscribe button and don't miss a thing. Let's go Kansas City Chiefs.